EXO Auto Works. EXO Auto Works is Colorado Springs' home of the $50 synthetic blend oil change. Call now, 719-375-3232, or visit exoautoworks.com to make your appointment.
Madrid Maintenance. Madrid Maintenance offers excellent handyman service in the Colorado Springs area, starting at just $45 an hour. You can reach them by phone at 719-963-2020 or online at facebook.com/Madrid Maintenance.
Enharmonic Studios. Enharmonic Studios is a hybrid digital analog facility designed to be quality and affordable to anyone who wants to make history. Call today, 719-963-2020, or go to facebook.com/Enharmonic Studios.
From EXO Auto Works. Streaming all over the world.
We're coming for you, globalist!
It's your weekly dose of toxic masculinity. With Eric Madrid and Trevor Lane. It's Man Tools.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and the rest of you. We've had an interesting week.
Robots and whatever else is
out there. Data mining robots. Thank you for your Russian spy bots. All of you on Twitter. We have a very special news lead off with a Twitter. What a week. Happy to be here at EXO Auto Works, where my truck is in the shop, and they have to put a new engine in it because I rode that bitch hard and put it away wet. When he said, hey, you got to get a new engine, I was like, no, you can fix that. He goes, bro, I could, but it will be about $1,000 cheaper just to get a new engine. And I was ready to jump on his ass. And then I thought about it. I mean, this all happened in a microsecond. The car is 13 years old. Of course, there's rebuild engines out there like crazy. Mm-hmm. And it's a Chevy, so the Silverado, the Tahoe, and the Avalanche all have the same engine.
Right.
So yes. I was like, all right, go for it. Get it done. Yeah. Order that bitch up.
Yeah.
It made total sense. In this day and age, ladies and gentlemen, because I akined it to my own, jobs, work. I'm like, it's easy. It's just easier. Look, I can fix your garbage disposal, or just get a new one. It's the same price, or a little cheaper just to get a new one.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, well,
yeah. Sometimes, as we called it in the Army, pluck and chuck makes more sense.
Pluck and chuck makes more sense. It's been affectionately named, and I think I've told you this story before, the PS2 story. Tristan, my brother, got a PS2, brand new, out of the box, and then it overheated, so he sent it in. He got it worked on. He spent a bunch of money shipping it, a bunch of money, getting it fixed. And then he got it home, and then the power thing would overheat and it would shut off. So they did a bunch of fixing. I mean, he had like a swamp cooler in the bedroom, like blowing on it. Still would just overheat. So he sent it in again. And 4 or 5 times it sent in. I think on the 6th time, I said, "Here, I'll fix that for you." He's just, God damn it, bro! Took it out back at my old place. Remember that one with the little concrete slab?
Yep.
And just smashed it. He's like, "What did you do?" I'm like, "Now you have to deal with it."
Yeah.
Now you just go get a new one.
Right.
Like,
and actually solve your problem.
And solve your problem instead of dumping money into this thing. So that being said, I tried to just smash the Avalanche and call it a day. I'm not at that point yet. It's not feasible. I think we talked about this earlier. I am not willing to have a 5-year, $700 car payment a month.
Right.
Yeah. Versus fixing this guy, which is gonna bite me in the shorts until probably middle of next year. It's about a year. Like, no, I'd rather do that. So it's still in that zone. Now, if it blows up while I'm still doing this, I'm going to wrap it around a tree and be like, "Oh, sorry, Mr. Insurance Agent."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to happen.
I don't know how it caught fire.
I don't know how that happened.
Gasoline. Well, it is a car.
C'est la vie.
Is it really suspicious that there's gasoline?
Just saying.
If it's a car?
Just saying, shit happens.
That's funny. That's like the that old Larry the Cable Guy. Sometimes you got to wreck the truck to make the truck payment.
That's funny. Well, I think what's probably going to happen is if it's still just giving me grief with a new engine, it's going to go for about what I'm going to owe on it in a couple months.
Right. Yeah.
Unload it and then go deal with getting a new Chevy Colorado.
Yeah. With all the cameras, I keep hearing ads on my Spotify for how it has like 10 cameras, including one on the undercarriage, so you can see before you high center if you're like
That's
four-wheeling.
That's no.
And avoid it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
That's neat. The guys at PPRVD said don't get anything newer than a 2018 because they get new trucks every couple of years. And they're like, we love our 2018s, and they got the 2022s. They're like, it's falling apart, like all the accoutrement, like the badges and the steering wheels cover, it's all falling apart.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. He's like, look at this fucking thing, and all the rubber ribbing around the door. He's like, it just fell apart, fell off. I've had this thing like 3 weeks. I was like, He's like, it still runs good, but like, it's a work truck, but still, like, come on. We get in trouble if we fuck these things up. So. Anyway, that's been the week in my story. We better get to the news. We have a long night ahead of us.
Yeah, we got a few things. The free show will be relatively short, but we got a locals thing after that. So
yeah, we'll be here a minute.
Yep. All right. As you'll see when we get into the news, it pays to be prepared. And a great way to be prepared is to have some emergency food on hand from Valley Food Storage. You can get that by either using that little QR code right behind Eric, or you can go to prepare.mantoolsmedia.com and get you some awesome food. Lasts for 25 years. It's good stuff. So...
Let me just preface this by saying, if you made the news because some meme about a year ago made it into vernacular, and now this is your thing, this is your shtick, because it was just a joke, because the dating pool apparently was just so dry that somebody said, well, then my next boyfriend needs to have a car and his own job and a 500-word essay explaining to me why he should be able to date me. And that was like just this meme. So this woman took it to the extreme. And I swear to God, she looks like a Muppet.
Yeah. She says, I make men submit a 500-word essay to date me. Do not waste my time. And that's the theme of the essays that she apparently has. Whoever's writing these, right?
Yeah.
One woman is what a good pun. One woman is looking for the right man. Lauren Kempton from England requires her suitors to write a 500-word essay if they want to date her. Feeling fed up with online dating, Kempton revealed a dating strategy last year that resurfaced recently. Asking for an essay is definitely a good way of weeding out what you don't want, she said. Which I guess is true.
Well,
on the 36-year-old's Hinge account, she made it clear that if they wanted to have a chance with her, they must submit an application explaining, quote, how you will not waste any time. Any time? How about that?
that's one of my hobbies.
It shows you who they are and that they have read your profile. Yeah, okay, I can understand putting in something that, like, if you didn't actually read the profile, I can go, okay, you didn't actually look, delete. You know, you just saw the bikini picture and swiped right.
Sure.
But the 500-word essay is a little, I'll put it this is going to sound harsh, and it is. It's a little much for a 36-year-old single mom to be demanding.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, she initially added the requirement to her profile as a joke, but many bachelors took it seriously. You know, women don't joke around. When they say shit like that, they're actually like, "Yeah, you better do that," or "Oh, I'm just kidding." No, you're supposed to do that.
So they're kidding if you're 6'4", have a six-pack,
That's right. A Lambo.
a 12-inch dick, all these things. You know, they're not kidding when you're me or you.
Yeah. You're a regular jack off. That's funny. It's twoo.
And like, she's a pretty girl, but I'm sorry, I wouldn't write 500 words for that.
No.
You know.
Nope.
But I will say this: I can sympathize with the wasting time.
The 500 words seems like a waste
Annoyance.
of time.
No, but I heard, like her, don't waste my time. I can sympathize with that sentiment.
Sure.
The flip is, don't waste my time having me write 500 words.
Look, you I don't know. Like you know in the first like. Well, okay. There's the thing. If you're out dating, you're out actually dating. You're trying to find something worth investing in and growing. Then you're gonna know that first date. Like I've said this before, when I was dating, and some of these women are like, "Oh, I'm his ex." I'm like, "You that date didn't last through the appetizer." Like I went home. Like you are not an ex.
You're never been there.
That was no.
You're never was.
No. You have don't be throwing that around. You need to say the right thing. Oh, we went on a date, and I'm like, yeah, and I got you an Uber home after the appetizers. I'm like, I'm good. You're sloppy drunk already. You gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go. And I did that with the bartender, like watching me. I'm like, I'm leaving my wallet right here. I'll be right back in. Put it in the car. Came back. I was like, alrighty. He's like, dude, you're a good dude. Like. She was wasted face. I'm like, yeah, I could have taken her home. Like, that's not a place I want to head to.
Yeah.
It's not a person you want to be with for a long term either. Wasted face on a first date.
Probably not.
Like showing up,
Yeah.
ham sandwiched, and then you get through cocktail round, and you're like, holy shnikes. I understand if you're nervous, but I didn't make her write a 500-word essay. Now, here's a tip for all you guys out there who are lazy like me. Just end up getting ChatGPT and have it write you a 500-word
nowadays,
essay.
yes, you could. Yeah, I was reading
Tailor make
recently,
it for this chicky poo.
I didn't include it in the show because it wasn't anything that struck me as we need to talk about this. But since you brought it up, I guess there's a that's becoming a thing. Is high school and college age students, when they have a paper, they just go to ChatGPT and say, give me 500 words on this.
Yep. And then you go to Grammarly, get it and check it out. Then you jump over to
retool it a little.
There's another website that will reword it again.
So that it gets by like the plagiarism checkers. Yeah. I guess a teacher professor type is in some trouble. The claim is that even though he came up with that, ChatGPT wrote his entire class's papers, that's not what happened. And I don't know how. I would assume what he did. There's probably a, hey, ChatGPT, did you write this? And it goes,
yes, I did.
If it did that 20 times for a 20-person class, I don't know how you refute that. That's not what happened, but yeah, I don't know.
Well,
That's yep.
I don't know.
All I can say is I thank God every day that not just that I'm married because of nonsense like this, but that I'm married to the person that I'm married to because she's awesome.
No, you wouldn't. Yeah.
But
I would say that goes without saying. But
I am very glad that I don't have to put up with this nonsense anymore.
Funny. I had an interesting conversation with a younger gentleman that was working in the studio with me this week. He just said something that I kind of changed his brain about it. He's like, yeah, man, well, pussy's pussy, and you gotta like. I was like, no, you don't. There ain't no pussy good enough to make you miss work for. Like, it's just, it doesn't happen, bud. He's like, it's like, no, if you don't find something, then I'd, just be single for the rest of your life. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
I got shit to do. I got man shit to do. I got stuff to do. Like,
I'm more accurately listening to In Defense of Women by H.L. Mencken,
okay.
who clearly was, well, if it wasn't for the readily availability of legal prostitutes back then, I think he would be roundly in what we would call an incel. So it's
Yeah.
he has an interesting take though, and I can kind of I'm like, okay, I can see this, especially coming from his time, which was like shortly post World War I, so like early 20th century. And he talks about why women are better than men, or smarter, I guess, or I don't know, maybe nature has handed them a better deck of cards, because their goal or their reality is once they convince a man to marry them, they can retire. Pretty much. A man, whether he's married or single, has to keep working.
Brings me to another interesting point that young men don't. And I see it on the tiki-talkies all the time. They're like, well, I did the dishes and I did the thing and I did this. I'm like, that's not part of the relationship, but that's shit you would do on your own. If you were
by
alone,
yourself, yeah,
you'd still be doing that. You can't use that as collateral of
the
relationship. It doesn't work.
Yeah, no.
That's the bare minimum.
The only time I would say the only time stuff like that can even come into play is if only one person is bringing in money.
Because
then there is an element of, so what are you bringing to the household?
Right, you have traded household labor for, because if you're both working, you're both doing it, you're going to hire a maid.
Yeah, if you can afford it.
I'm
sure.
just saying, that's right. Laissez-faire.
Or you just team up and do all the work.
Right, you team up and do it all. But no, just like the little stuff. That's stuff you would be doing on your own anyway. Going to work, do you have a job? You know what I mean? It's like you would be doing that anyway, so you can't throw that in anybody's face. So, I don't know. I think we just wrote our 500-word essay for Miss Kempton. Go ahead and file that under nah.
All right. This episode may be seen as let's shit on women. Well, I guess all our episodes could be seen like that, or have been seen like that in some circles. But what happens when you make a big deal out of demographics and not talent and meritocracy? Well, recently in Canada, in Banff, which I guess is a Canadian national park, national forest, something like that. There was a conference of female firefighters with a planned burn, because as you would with a conference of firefighters. The problem is the burn got out of control and some men had to come put it out.
I'm just saying, you can't. You just can't.
A prescribed burn highlighted the agenda of a women's firefighting conference held to promote diversity and inclusion in a male-dominated field. Didn't go well. Accidentally setting Banff National Park ablaze was not part of the plan. I would hope not. The prescribed burn was carried out in compound meadows adjacent to the Banff town site by Parks Canada and participants in Canada's first ever Women in Fire Training Exchange, which they named WT Rex. It raged out of control Wednesday, forcing the temporary evacuation of horses from the Banff Light Horse Association and hundreds of area residents and tourists in the Rocky Mountain Resort.
Traffic backed up down the highway. A cemetery was threatened. Trees were scorched. Interchanges were closed. Billows of smoke could be seen for miles around. Let's see. 3 tracks.
Heirloom saddles and chaps belonging to a family were destroyed.
Cavalry was called in to help the blaze. 5 helicopters raining down buckets of water. From 4 different fire departments, regional looks like.
Yep. Well, RCMP is federal.
Yeah, that would be federal.
That's their Mounties, which I didn't know they had a firefighting thing, but okay.
I mean, sure they do. So what happened to that chick that started the Hayman fire on the park ranger? She went to jail.
She did, yeah. I think she might be out now, but yeah, she did.
She did 5 years for burning down, $40 million worth of shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you expect an equality of outcome, this is what the outcome is.
And look, here's my thing, because I think I talk more about this in terms of the police. I'm fine with female detectives. I don't think they have any business being in situations where you need to bust some heads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sorry.
Yeah.
The let's dust for prints and stuff, fine. Go ahead, do that all day.
Yep.
But and with firefighting, if they're doing like fire investigations, cool. But I don't want anyone showing up at my house if it's on fire who can't lift me up and drag me out. And that's all there is to it. And that includes men. If you're a dude that can't sling me over your shoulder and get me out of my house when I'm unconscious because I got everybody else out first,
Yeah.
because that's what I would do.
This is what happens when you shoot for equality of outcome. It doesn't work. All right, spinning on.
And diversity just for diversity's sake.
For diversity's sake.
Hey, if the best people for the job turn out to be all women, great.
I'm not getting the job.
If that's not what's happening, they're going, we got to make the things. This is some sweet. What's the opposite of what is it when irony turns into kind of justice? Is there a word for that?
Well, let's see. I guess this would be an instance of irony.
It's definitely ironic. I'm just like, when the irony resolves itself to exactly how the world works. That's what I'm curious about. Let me zoom this in because it's kind of, for some reason, the printed version comes in. Reality, I guess, yeah. An anti-capitalist cafe in Canada, is shutting down due to a lack of capital. The Anarchist, aptly named, will close on May 30th, according to a statement appended with the slogans "Abolish work, people over, profit, and land back." All right.
Okay.
Sadly, yeah, I'm not that sad. Barely a year after opening, an anti-capitalist Toronto coffee shop is closing its doors due to a lack of capital. The Anarchist, provider of sweet and savory pastries, trendy coffees, was founded last April as a subversive alternative to what it called the usual model of workers producing wealth for their parasitic employers. Instead, it will close permanently on May 30th, according to a statement appended with the slogans "Abolish," like we said. The cafe was never able to employ more than one person, so the proprietor, Gabriel Sims Fewer, will be its only layoff. The Anarchist featured a pay-what-you-can option, but the cafe is very lengthy, frequently asked questions, which probably were never asked. Page explained that the system lost them money, for which the rich were to blame. Oh, yes, of course. one of the issues with a lot of my pay what you can oriented ideas is that the more money people have, the less they're willing to pay. I get people in designer suits paying $1 for coffee and unhoused people trying to give me $10. I think you made that up.
You're a goddamn liar. If you've got homeless hanging around your coffee shop, nobody in designer suits is coming in there.
That is correct. The cafe announced its demise with a lengthy screed denouncing. See, this is the thing that's wrong with, because they're not even anarchists. Because anarchism requires capitalism. If you don't have the state, you have to be exchanging things, and no one wants to get ripped off.
Yep.
So it has to be free, voluntary exchanges.
If you're truly an anarchist, wouldn't you just take the guy's suit?
Just saying. Dude, but this is the entitled and the anti-work thing. I just don't get that at all. I don't know if you've ever perused that subreddit.
I've never
It's
really been on Reddit.
horrifying. It's horrifying. I see other subreddits making fun of them pretty much, including one that was so they're anti-work, right? But they're upset that copywriters now, or a lot of companies, advertising departments, instead of keeping copywriters on, are using ChatGPT and firing all the copywriters because they can just go, write me an ad for this product with this theme. And it goes, beep, blop, bloop, blop. Hey, here's the thing.
Yep.
Make me a beer commercial. Hey.
This is a little bizarre, but it'll get you 90% there.
Well, that thing written as a script, though, would just be like, people having fun drinking beers. All right, that's what you want in a beer ad.
That's
Sure.
what you want a beer ad. And then I don't know. But you're mad that people are losing their jobs.
When you don't think people should have to work.
What do they call that? An involuntary donation?
Yeah. From Chaz Chop, yes.
Yep.
Some good news, man. I don't quite know what the impact of this is directly. I think this may just mean it needs to go up to a higher court, but a federal judge has struck down a law requiring people to be 21 to buy handguns. A federal judge in Virginia ruled on Wednesday that federal laws that require individuals to be at least 21 years old to purchase handguns from FFLs,
Licensed firearm dealers,
are unconstitutional. The quote from the ruling is, because the statutes and regulations in question are not consistent with our nation's history and tradition, they therefore cannot stand. This, I'm sure, is based on the, was it Bruin decision that came out last year or 2 years ago that struck down all of the might issue concealed carry stuff,
right?
And said, no, it's a right. You have to actually find a reason not to allow exercising the right, as opposed to, well, prove that you need to.
Yeah, that's the big difference.
Because I think it used that kind of language, the nation's history and tradition, they therefore cannot stand. U.S. District Judge Robert E. Payne, who was nominated to the bench, and I don't really care who nominated him, by George H.W. Bush. Payne's ruling came in a lawsuit filed by John Corey Fraser against the ATF. Fraser was rejected when he attempted to purchase a handgun last May when he was 20. That's a good way to start that. So he came in at 20, knowing that they would come back and say, you can't do that. And then he went, I have a right to a gun. Or more accurately, I have a right to arms. As I pointed out, that includes everything from pointy sticks to laser blasters.
That's right. I have the right.
So, awesome. Like I said, I'm not sure, and I don't really want to read all of this. I'm not sure if at a district court level that means that anyone over the age of 18 now can just walk into a gun store and buy a handgun. I imagine there's still more.
well,
shit that needs to happen.
if it went to a district court,
Maybe the states that
they
fall
would
in
have
that district.
No, they would have to overturn it right at that moment because it's done. Now, you have to show to get an appeal to go to appellate court. You have to show something that a rule of law. In other words, something was mishandled, something was messed up, and now you have to appeal it, and it has to be retried higher up. It's not if you.
So in the meantime, anyone over the age of 18 can buy a handgun.
It's done.
Cool.
So while they try to look for rule of law or point of law, excuse me, it's called point of law. To get it up to an appellate court. Appellate courts don't hear everything. Appellate courts will not hear it if you just say, well, that was unfair and I want a different answer. It's not going to a doctor and getting a different opinion. It's literally
here's the reason that the judge,
the jury was tainted, and not grounds for a mistrial. Like, now it's an appellate situation.
There's evidence to the contrary.
It's not a criminal. Mistrials are in criminal court cases. This is a civil suit. So you have to show where something went wonky in the process of that hearing and that suit. If there was collusion, if there was, if the lawyer set the kid over to go do it, that would technically bring bringing a lawsuit fraudulently. Collusion, can't have any of that shit. So it probably will just get thrown or done, ruled on and done, because going up to the appellate court is a huge task. I mean, the ATF has deep pockets, but they're like, well, fuck it. So hopefully
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
All they will do in the way that we've all seen this work is in about 4 years' time, they'll figure out a way to make it 21 again or 25
or whatever.
They'll bring it back around, and somebody will have to fight it again.
Or the ATF will suddenly call handguns machine guns somehow.
Hey, you kill an animal with a 223, there's nothing left.
That's right.
Jesus.
It's gone.
Gone. Obliterated.
Never mind that it's the most popular hunting, which is crazy because you can't hunt deer in most states with it.
No. I wouldn't want to.
Speaking of legal stuff, a law that cancels cancel culture. It's an interesting idea.
Why are we getting the government involved in our more laws again?
Well, yes, you're right. Cancel culture. The online trend of course, this is from CNN, so it's not quite just calling out people.
Yeah.
Celebrities and brands and organizations, rightly or wrongly, for perceived. No. That's not the cancel culture. The cancel culture is when you bring it to the point where, like, a social media platform kicks them off for just having an opinion that people don't like.
Right, but the slippage now is it's just, how do I put this? It's diverged from its main mission, was to get racist assholes and pedophiles out of off of a platform. We're going to cancel you because you said some really stupid shit. Or
right, but it's stretched to
now.
You said something favorable about
something I disagree with.
Typically,
yeah. No, you said something favorable about something I disagree with. So it has completely.
So now it jumps immediately to, so you're racist, transphobic, whatever.
Yep.
Also, but the flip to that to me is, okay, so what? So don't listen to the racist. Don't look at the racist tweets.
Henry Rollins said it best.
Or whatever.
Henry Rollins said it best. He said, I would love for the members of the KKK to get up there and talk. Hey, know your enemy. And then if you let them spout their bullshit,
people see
you're
there's
gonna
bullshit.
See
yeah.
there's bullshit, and you're going to be like, oh.
Fighting ideas with you can't hear them
is the worst.
Is really bad.
Stick them up there and be like, all right, we're here for the rights of the white man. I'm the Grand Dragon. You're like, wow.
Because here's the unintended consequence. Well, why don't they want me to hear that?
Why don't they want me to hear that? I better go check that out.
That's probably something.
Yeah.
That an independent-minded fellow like me wants to. If the government wants to stop me from hearing it.
Do you remember being 6 years old and your mom says, "Don't open this cupboard"?
Or
it got ingrained in you that there were cookies in there, and you wanted to have some cookies. So here you are. Why aren't they letting me see what's behind door number 2?
Well, Singapore is the country we're talking about. But I guess they're looking at drafting some kind of legislation to deal with cancel culture. I don't know, man. Like you said, I don't like. I have mixed feelings about this because I don't like the government getting involved in something like this. But the flip is, as a free speech absolutist, I think social media platforms have become the new public square. So if they can stop you from standing in the public square and shouting whatever it is that you want to shout, I'm kind of like, well, that's still censorship.
Yep.
And just because it's not the government doing it doesn't make it suddenly fine to me. So I don't know, man. I don't know I don't have like a clear, this is how it should be answer.
No.
But like the problem is, of course, when you get government involved, then it becomes, well, this is cancel culture. This other thing where people are being canceled is not because the government likes these people being silenced. You know,
exactly.
it inevitably goes there. Like, is it Wyoming? Wyoming passed a law banning TikTok. Did you hear about that?
No, it was Utah was
No. You're talking about Pornhub.
Porno.
No, I'm gonna Google it right now because I
That's
didn't
fine.
get it into the show prep. But I'm pretty sure Wyoming passed a no more TikTok, and TikTok is like, how do you enforce that? Like Google App Store is not gonna go, oh, I see you're in Wyoming. No TikTok for you.
Yeah.
It is Wyoming TikTok ban.
Well, Montana's not Wyoming, but okay.
Okay, I guess it's Montana. Montana becomes the first state to approve a full ban of TikTok.
Interesting.
Here, let me share this tab instead. Now, recently there was a federal law that, well, was purported to do that and then never mentioned TikTok.
Yeah.
First off. But secondly, my thing is, like, if we have a right to speak our minds, I know that's not spelled out in black and white, but I think that implies that we have a right to hear whatever we want to hear. Read what we want to read.
That's the converse.
Right?
Yeah.
If I can say whatever I want, can I not? Or write whatever I want, can I not?
I can pick and choose whatever
hear,
I want to read and hear.
And if that's TikTok,
I don't know what their grounds is. What the grounds are.
From what I understand, it's the Chinese spyware stuff.
Yeah.
Which, okay, yeah, cool. Pass a law that says the Chinese can't spy on us instead.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And then if this software includes that, okay, it's banned under those grounds, not just fuck TikTok.
Right.
You're spying on us. That's so, yeah. I think this happened yesterday. Sorry, it says the GOP-controlled House of Representatives sent the bill on Friday to the governor, and from what I understand, he signed it yesterday. This article is dated like the 14th. So it makes it illegal to download TikTok in the state, which is silly because it's a website as well.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
can you not browse to the website? With penalties of up to $10,000 a day for any entity such as Apple or Google's App Store or TikTok itself that makes the app available.
So they're not going after individual users; they're going after the company.
Yes.
Well, that's the only way you're going to get money.
Well, so far, I think TikTok, Apple, and Google have been like, cool, we're not doing this. Good luck trying to enforce that on entities that have no, whatever you call it, physical presence. Like, there's not a headquarters in Montana for any of those companies. So what are you going to do if they disobey you?
Rules with no teeth. That's the other thing governments are doing right now. They're getting real shady about saying, we're going to mandate this, and we're going to turn this into a law. I'm like, you have no way to enforce any of this shit.
Yeah.
You have absolutely no teeth anymore. You're upset because you read something and you gleaned it from some headline. And
Well, here's the thing, like, because it always gets twisted in, so you want the Chinese to get our data? And it's like, no.
no, I want people to fucking have some personal responsibility with their lives.
But yeah, it's. I mean, anytime I get in an argument, arguing on the internet is like winning the Special Olympics. You're still retarded, so take that with those grains of salt. But anytime I get into an argument about a lot of this stuff, especially guns, so you want kids to die? Like, no. I never said I want kids to. That's a I don't know which fallacy that is, but it's a huge one. And fuck you for going there.
Yep.
No. What I want is to not have my rights infringed because some crazy asshole shot up a school or burned it down. Should I not have access to matches because someone burned down a school with kids in it?
Yep.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, that's the end of the news.
Hooray.
We'll get into some cool stuff.
It's going to be a short show.
And this is all we have is cool stuff and then history after this. So
nice.
In fact, let's we'll go ahead and pay our bills now because
Let's do that.
The other two segments will be pretty short. So
marvelous.
On my way over here, my brakes made an awful noise, and the last time I got them done, it was so expensive.
You should go to EXO Auto Works. They did a great job on mine, and it was way cheaper than anywhere else I've been.
That sounds great. I need to get their number from you.
At EXO Auto Works, we offer the best price on brake service in town. We include brand new brake pads, rotors, and hardware, which saves you money and gets you on the road faster. See our website for a full list of our services. Call EXO Auto Works today.
Leave anything on your front lawn, under your porch, on the side of the highway where you can store all that stuff my way, down here at Jones Big Ass Truck Rental and Car Storage. Now, I know y'all got stuff at your house that you don't need no more, you don't want. You know you ain't gonna use that printer. Why keep it all around your house? Bring it down here to my house. You ain't the Dukes of Hazzard. You know you gonna use that ugly yellow luggage. You don't need all this crap. What you gonna do with this? This is not what it... In my yard, I don't care. I'll store this motorcycle in that van for you for $10.99 a month. You got old tires, they charge you $3 for that old tire. You can rent a truck, you can store a car, they don't care, bring it on down here. You ain't got to put that old tire for $3, for less than that. Hell, for you, for $3 they gonna charge you, I do it down here for $1.50 down here at Jones Big Ass Truck Rental and Storage Facility. Now friends, you may ask yourself, how in the hell can he store this stuff for such a cheap price? Put this in a box, mark it for you, put it away, seal it. The fact of the matter is, I'm pretty drunk right now and store it. And this is a drunk discount sale down here at Jones Big Ass Truck Rental and Car Facility. You got an elephant, I got space. Send me smoke signals. You got weed, and I'll store anything you want. Go ahead and give me a call or find me on them internets at www.jonesbigasstruckrentalstorage.com. That's JONES Big Ass Truck Rentals and Storage.com. This is a bus. You know how big a bus is?
cool stuff.
It's time for cool stuff.
You know what's really cool? KRATOM. Whether you want to get fucked up and fall asleep or just kill some pain, you can do it.
You can do it.
And it does not have the crazy addictive side effects of opiates and other crazy nasty substances. So check out some KRATOM. Go to kratom.mantoolsmedia.com to get some from Top Extracts, or you can just get that QR code right over there.
Click on my butt.
That's right. So first up in cool stuff, Aren't belts a pain in the ass?
They're just the worst.
Well, maybe you don't need one.
1 loop, 2 loop. Put it over. Give it a little pull. Nice. Nobody'd even know that they're on. They're actually fantastic. And for my 70-mile commute, the other thing too is I don't get uncomfortable sitting in a car. I think you should try them out. They're at beltbro.com.
Yeah, those look kind of cool.
The only thing I will say is I don't know how you would pack if you're open carrying.
Beltbro.com needs to figure out how to make one that's what am I trying to say?
I mean, I guess you could. I don't know. I'd hate to have your pistol just go bling clang 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 because you strapped a holster to that thing. Fuck. Well. But other than that, that is pretty neat. I like that. And then this could have been in sports. This could have been a sport. But
this
is rad.
Definitely sports.
This is rad.
Yep. Yep. Round 2.
Nice.
Board mowing the lawn.
He's getting better with each pass.
Right? Gave Mario Kart a whole new fucking meaning.
Isn't that awesome? And finally,
oh my God!
Have you ever wondered about gravity?
In science news.
Yeah.
We actually don't need it.
What do you mean that we don't need gravity?
What if it was never invented?
Invented by who?
Sir Isaac Newton.
You got that part right.
Isaac Newton created gravity?
Invented gravity.
Whoever created gravity, someone did, but we don't actually need it.
There
Like,
was,
we
a
could have
time
just all...
there was a time on Earth before gravity existed?
Yes. Who created gravity, babe? Dan?
It was Isaac Newton, you're right.
He's like, yep. God damn it. The sheer confidence, though, of we don't need gravity.
We don't need it.
We don't really
we don't need it.
We don't need it.
Why can't I just hold this up and let go of it and have it float there?
Honey, you spelled taxes wrong. We don't need taxes. Yeah, you spelled taxes wrong.
Whoever invented taxes,
that guy.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. Right in the goat ass. No, she spelled taxes wrong.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I weep for the future.
Gravity.
Don't need it. Don't want it. Don't want nothing about it. Fuck gravity.
Well, let's...
Maybe she was talking about the movie with Sandra Bullock. Yeah, I agree.
We don't need that.
We did not need that at all. No one needed that.
And we did not. Let's get the week in his story.
The sawdust Caesar comes to his end in the gutter, fitting climax to a life.
It's first center flank. Get it started. Get it started. It's fight and it's fighting. It's right.
Roger, roll, Challenger.
The week in history is brought to you by the historically best investment you can make. I'm talking about gold.
It's been around since before gravity.
I believe it has, yes. It used to just be floating around everywhere. You could just snatch it out of the... Luckily, now it's a lot harder to get, which makes it worth more money, more valuable. But you should definitely invest in gold, and one of the best ways to do that is through Noble Gold Investments. Check them out right now at gold.mantoolsmedia.com, and they offer a free gold and silver backed IRA kit. You can learn all about turning some of your retirement savings into gold and silver, and it's It's great. I rolled over some shitty 401k into that, and I have not regretted it at all. But yeah, there you go. Gold.mantoolsmedia.
Gold fever.
This first thing for the week in his story comes after the invention of gravity. May 18th, 1980. After rumbling for 2 months, Mount St. Helens in Washington erupts 3 times in 24 hours.
I remember the ash. I remember the
Bananas.
ash. We were in Colorado, and I remember just the skies and the ash.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, that was so nuts.
Yep. Let's see, May 19th, 1780. Near total darkness descends on New England at noon, and no explanation is ever found. It just went dark. 12 noon. Poof.
Poof. Aliens.
Maybe.
Aliens.
Or maybe the world ended then. And
that
we're
was
all
the
just
reboot?
Matrixes.
That was the reboot?
People. May 20th, 1874. Levi Strauss begins marketing blue jeans with copper rivets, which of course, brings us to the style that is known today as the blue jean.
They were cute. Look at the dog.
Yeah. Poor guy. Probably a pedophile. Dog has good instincts. He's trying to protect those kids.
You're probably right. Good dog.
He's like, I'm just going to rape some kids over here. And the dog's like, nope.
Nope.
Not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
You
Get him, Rover.
dumb
All right, next up, coming up.
Dumb hat.
Charles Lindbergh.
May 21st, 1927, Charles Lindbergh lands in Paris, completing the first solo air crossing of the Atlantic. And obviously greeted as like a fucking hero and balls of steel and all that. Because
Yep.
Could you imagine being the first person to go, I'll just fly over the ocean all the way?
No, I there's not enough fuel to carry those balls of steel.
No.
So the NX, what is it? NX 101 was the first Enterprise?
NX-1.
I thought it was 1.
And you're talking about the show?
Archers?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Archers,
it's NX-1.
NX-1? That was 01.
No,
I think
it may
01.
be
No,
01.
I'm messing up. 01 was the Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah. And then
Just some good old boys.
It is. Running some hooch.
Ain't doing no harm. On a 5-year mission to discover new civilizations.
Boldly going. The only way they know how.
That would have been a better theme song than the Enterprise theme song.
Oh, that's what ruined it. It wasn't Scott Bakula. Bakula did just fine.
I never understood why didn't they just have him do the space, the final front, and you know what? Do the thing with with some kind of orchestral theme song.
Yep.
Instead of the stupid.
Yep.
Oh My Heart or whatever the fuck it.
Yeah, that was.
I don't even remember.
And then they double timed it and did a hoedown with it on the second half of the
what
fucking.
What are you guys doing?
You guys fucked that up. You have the hottest Vulcan of all time.
Thank God for the streaming services that now allow you to skip
the
intro.
Oh, that's the only reason I watched that show all the way through. I like Trip. I like the engineer. That was cool. I loved the whole Vulcan thing. Like, Vulcans were new. We're still dealing with these assholes. Like, that whole drama was cool.
And the first couple, us and them and the Andorians and a couple other, we got to come together. And then it's kind of like, maybe we should just keep coming together.
Yeah, it was kind of neat. And
maybe we should federate.
Jeremy Combs, the Andorian guy, Jeremy Combs, Star Trek,
who played a whole bunch of
actor,
Star Trek
legend.
stuff.
Yeah, legend. He made that show for me. His
pink skin. I love that slur. Pink skin.
Yeah, he's just calling him dirty words, and they're buds. Like you know what I mean? They're you know.
Have you gotten into Strange New Worlds?
Oh, are you kidding me? I even got Heather into Strange New Worlds. She dug it.
I finished season 1 because I finally convinced Carolyn to get a Paramount Plus.
Yeah, do you know how giddy I am? Because I watched that when that first dropped with Captain Pike. Like, I'm like, ah!
Well, there are a couple things that take me out of it, but for the most part, I'm okay. The gigantic captain's quarters. When they go into a stupid room where he has a fireplace and a full kitchen.
But you remember the menagerie, right? The cage, the first pilot episode?
Where he had a bed and a desk, like Kirk?
No, he didn't. He had a fucking... No, he did not.
I don't remember that then.
Yeah, the original one. Not the part where they recut it and redid it for the menagerie. But the original pilot where he walks in, it's almost black and white. Fucking crazy. Ask for Gene Roddenberry. He goes in there, he's got the fireplace. The fireplace that's in that one is the same one from The Thing. There are so many...
I didn't look at that. Because at first I'm like, Kirk has a bed and a desk. What the fuck are they doing? How do they have room for this on the ship? Yeah. So, all right.
No, okay, I'll give you that. But all the callback stuff, the cooking, I love that they just like, they're out. He's like, here.
Sorry, welcome to Trek Talk.
Yeah, welcome to Trek Talk with Eric and Trevor. We should have a podcast on that because
we could do episodes on Trek.
Strange New Worlds has so many fucking callbacks. It's ridiculous, and then you catch them because I watch those TOS like for not being a nerd. I know every fucking episode forwards and backwards because that's all we got to watch that Doctor Who and some A-Team like that was it when we were kids. There's no Dateline.
All right. All right, this week in history.
Oh my God, back to history.
Let's see, May 22nd, 1908. A little more aviation. The Wright brothers register their flying machine for a U.S. patent. And there you can see their plans.
There's some fart smellers, those kids.
Yep. And then finally, another patent thing. Or kind of. May 23rd, 1785, Benjamin Franklin announced his invention of bifocals, which I keep being told by the eye doctor, you could if you wanted to. And I'm like, no, thank you. I would like not to. You could. Like, once I try to read something and I go, okay, then it's time. Yeah. But until then, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
But that has been the week in his story. And that brings us to the end of our show.
Well, everybody, we'd like to thank our sponsors. All of them love. Go to sponsors.mantoolsmedia.com. That's where you can find all those folks there. Locals members, be on the lookout for Man Tools at the Movies. I'm not going to butcher that. Bigorexia. That'll come out tomorrow. If you don't know what bigorexia is, Google it. You'll get it right away. It all makes sense. This is also members only, so you want to on our members only, you'll want to go check out So You Want to Start a Business. We had a really good time doing that episode with our buddy Wade Whitlock from
Moongata.
It's pronounced Moongata, but it's man. The underwear that we all are loving right now. The elk is perfect, Trevor, by the way. So I was gonna give you shit for giving me like the size you got me. However, guess what? The elastic doesn't fuck off after the first round.
No.
So I was like, yeah, I am this size. So I'll be damned. Such a good.
You should see. Have you looked at the sizing guide? It's like if you're erect and this long.
Yep.
And if you're limp and this long, and I went, I think Eric's this. That tells you how well we know each other.
That's pretty funny because I passed the morning wood test with the Moongata underwear. I was like, I'm not getting like constricted.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Such good underwear. I'm super stoked. Get that in our members only and all of our members only content for only $3 a month at mantoolsminions.locals.com. Our merch for all the Man Tools stuff is at merch.mantoolsmedia.com. Get free shipping if you're in our Facebook group and 20% off if you're a Locals member. So there's your incentives. Get over there, buy some Man Tools merch. I got one of our big patches. Yep, he's sporting it as we speak.
Awesome.
He's like, what is that? That's amazing, man. That's my podcast. He's like, That's way too cool for you. I was like, I know. This is a cool design. Anyway, check us out on the web at mantoolsmedia.com. Check out our sponsors at sponsors.mantoolsmedia.com and our links at linksco.mantoolsmedia. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Like, share, subscribe, rate, comment, review. Questions, comments, or rebuttals, please take a number.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week. So good night, everybody.